yes, I've probably been conned in my younger days and stuff, but they were easy too. Like I remember my father used to do this. It was some stupid shit, like some Jamaican shit, whatever. With the like the piece of tape on this finger and stuff, whatever. Fly away, Peter. Fly away. Ah, he got you.
He got me.
He got you with it too. You see what I'm saying?
Come back, Peter. Come back. Where did Peter Paul go?
I was like, oh shit. Yo.
The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Watch your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny.
Away we go. What's up, everybody? I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all streaming platforms. Search Podical Sons Podcast, podicalsons.com website. You can see us and hear us at the same damn time over there. YouTube, Podical Sons Podcast. Let's go. How you feeling?
Feeling good. It was a eventful weekend. So a little bit of a recovery. And but I'm not mad. Not mad at all. Not mad at all. You know, it was a worthwhile event. And yeah. Yourself.
I'm good.
Good.
Smooth like Botox. I've been bobbing and weaving on the weekends. Or I want to say I just realized that the other day. So 2 weeks ago from last Thursday, I was in Memphis. And then 2 weeks later, I was in the Philly, Delaware, Maryland area. Because I didn't even think that the Walmart was like Maryland.
Yeah.
But the tri-state, when you're in tri-state areas, you're in tri-state areas and stuff, whatever. And then coming home for Thanksgiving and stuff as well in Cleveland. So it's a lot of movement.
A lot of passport stamping if they stamp passports.
For the crossing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
No.
I'm okay with that though. I think if you're getting tattoos and your passport and stuff, whatever,
right,
let it be at least something you can, no shade, but fly to.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, it's not even like it's...
Well, I flew to Memphis, right? But
yeah.
from Toronto to Memphis and stuff,
right,
whatever, but I just look at it as somewhere to fly to.
For flying definitely is one thing, but I mean, when you're crossing the border, you don't really need your passport. You could do that with your, like, if you have a citizenship card or something like that. Like, that's how the U.S.
No, 9/11 changed all that.
9/11 changed that? You still need...
Well, 9/11, I want to say even with people with the enhanced driver's license.
Right.
That was because of 9/11. Right? I look at it stuff as where before, I think from Canada, I was told you just needed a driver's license at one time.
Yeah.
And then they went and I think spiced it up to like you need a birth certificate to just prove which country you're from.
Right.
And then it got to the point where you just need a passport. Like a passport was a must.
Right.
Right. So, and that's between, I want to say the Three Amigos. So I think now, I just feel like it's more hassle with the Canadian side. I'm not too sure how it is and stuff on the Mexico side.
Right.
Kind of really travel. I never traveled from
South.
Mexico from the U.S. to Mexico and stuff. So I don't know what kind of documentation they might
that you would need.
So yeah, man.
Yeah. I think this is actually I haven't drove across in quite some time, but typically when I would go across before, I would have my citizenship card and my driver's license, and I would just hand them both of that. But this time, I specifically my citizenship card, the actual card itself. So I have that, and then the driver's license, and then I would use that to go over with.
Gotcha.
Right. So now just recently, I was like, because even before I left, I even said to my wife, I said, "Do you think I should just bring my passport?" And she said, "Yeah, just bring it just in case." And I ended up just using my passport. I had my citizenship card on me, but I just ended up just using my passport.
Can I see it?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
I don't want to sound like a pervert, but I just want to see it.
I showed it to you. Well, I guess an equivalent would be your social insurance, your social security. Yeah, that would be.
Would it be? But the Social
Nah, I
Security
guess
don't have no
not.
photo of
No,
you.
I guess not. Right. It does
This thing
have
has a photo of you, right?
This has a photo. Yeah.
How
yeah.
old were you?
That's the other thing. Because I go to wifey, I go, does this shit need to be updated? Because I think it's the one piece of ID that you don't need to really update. But if you see it, like this photos of me like when I'm 16.
Okay, so you could have looked like one of those runaway kids and stuff on the back of the milk carton flyers and shit.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to see it.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, Canada. Anytime I learn something new about Canada, I always say that.
You gotta say,
oh, Canada.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
get to it, man. Are the people of today resilient? That was the first poll of the week. 76% said no.
76% said no.
And 24% said yes. How you feel about that? Are the people of today resilient?
I think that the number of yes is higher.
So you think there's more people resilient today?
Yeah, I think so.
Talk about it. Let's hear this.
Just for what's happening, I'm shocked that a lot of people or more people are not in the street right now.
What do you mean?
With just with the cost of living, the rise in food. It's like people are losing homes, but and not at the rate that I'm like I would think, or I would think I would see it. Like I think people are really scraping, digging deep, and trying to like hang in as long as they possibly can, and then
that shows the real resilience.
Yeah, that's shown for me. That's shown the resilience.
Show resiliency. Okay, I can agree to that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that and stuff.
Yeah, because we'll hear the complaints and so forth like that, but it's not like it's the complaints is followed by, okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna belly up and just. No, okay, what I gotta do now? Because I can't stop eating. I still gotta get a place to live.
Okay, well, people were fighting the whole rental thing with the Toronto Land Board,
right?
Landlord and tenant board.
Yes,
they were going with that. Like during the pandemic, they had strikes and they had battles and stuff, right? Or protests. So I look at it stuff as like, that means they're not resilient.
No, I wouldn't say that means they're
because they're protesting.
No, I wouldn't say that means that they're not resilient.
Well, you're saying that people aren't protesting now, so that means they must be resilient.
No, when I say that, I think they're resilient is that the fact that even with everything that's happening, they're still finding ways to survive. I still believe they're out there protesting for better, for a better situation. But until that better situation comes, it's like, okay, I'm not just gonna belly up. Whatever I can do at this point to kind of just maintain until I can see a little bit of, I'm treading right now. So the resiliency is like, how long can I tread and prevent myself from drowning?
So on the no side, I can see that answer, but I want to say, even to tailor to yours, like I would just combat you. Like I would just have this verbal judo and stuff where I feel like people aren't resilient because they're protesting. Because I feel like if you can handle it and stuff, whatever, then you won't make any noise.
No, but here why I say it. You have a point there, but okay. Today I had an inquiry from a doctor wanting to book my Airbnb. Right?
Okay.
He has the money to book it, right? But still, he wants to argue a better price. So I'm saying
that's just the haggler.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like the resilience is not with them. But I'm saying I'm resilient. But if I need to make that breathing room, I'm gonna go out and protest for that breathing room. I'm still treading water, but you know what? If I can make the situation a little bit better for me going out there and just like making my voice heard, then I'm gonna make my voice heard.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. You can make your voice be heard. Like I just look at it. It was just. The reason I say people are not resilient, like how it was, because I want to be chasing one of those back in the day type of things, but like mental health illness is like its all-time high.
Yeah.
I want to say, let's say from the 60s, 70s and stuff like that. Stuff like schizophrenia, bipolar, and all type of stuff because they were using like LSD back then to kind of, you know, to
Right.
combat some of these mental health disorders and stuff like that.
Right.
I feel like the information about these things were still there, but I feel we're at a time where there was some young lady.
Mhm.
I don't even know if she's a young lady. I don't even if she identifies. That's another thing.
Well, yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
You call somebody, you might address somebody and stuff as what you see.
Right.
It's a problem.
Right.
Right. And then they get to like suicide rates at an all time. You're not fucking resilient if you're talking about suicide rate.
No,
So there's a young girl or young lady and stuff for them. She made some I think TikTok post saying that she has time blindness.
Yeah.
You heard that? Did you see that one? She has time blindness, so she shows up at work at 8:40. She shows up at work at 8:35. She still should be paid for a full 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have the anomalies, Parf. You're gonna have those who stand out.
It's more than just those. It's a lot of those.
But even when you mention that, right? With the things that are going on now, there's probably more people even considering offing themselves, but they're not gonna do it because they just say, okay, you know what? Nah, I'd rather tread it out.
Nah, so I think suicide rates that out as
it is. I'm not saying that, but even with that, I'm pretty sure there's more people who've even thought about it. With it being at that all-time high rate.
So, okay, give me a reason why somebody would off themselves because of today's times. I can't believe Palestine is going through this and then they just take their own head.
Nah, I'm not even thinking. I'm looking at it as a more personal thing. Like I'm saying, like there's people right now who can't afford food, right? And are struggling to even stay in a place where they are. And then there's more people that are going out on the streets. And you know what I'm saying? It's like it's one thing that's seeing all these things that's happening around you, but a lot of these things are happening to people personally.
Okay, so let me ask you this: have you, as a person and stuff, whatever, any part of your time, like let's say, not even leaving your parents' house, didn't you contemplate suicide or what it might be like?
That's yeah.
So
yeah.
I look at it as if you even give the thought or the idea,
right? I mean, it's like yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, everybody's they're gonna be to that point when they're contemplating suicide at least once. So your stats or what you're saying, like, that's damn near the free world.
Yeah.
But they're not probably not doing it, but there's still other people's stuff that's doing it. Because I look at it stuff as like, all right, how many out of 10 people have committed suicide in your world?
In my world?
Yeah. Because you said there's the ones that think about it and the ones that do it. So out of 10, how many are committing suicide?
I want to say 4.
4.
Yeah.
I would say probably 2. I would say 2 out of 10 would commit suicide.
You say 2 out of 10?
I would say 2 out of 10.
I'd say 4. I think it's prior. I would have said 2. But now, just like how you're saying, like what we're seeing right now, and a part of that is, not everybody is resilient, right? And we're seeing a lot of that. Also, again, we always talk about, social media exposes more things. So we might be experiencing some of that. But yeah, it's weird, man. Even when I just speak to like just regular folk, just my regular friend folk, right?
Okay.
The attitude is
times is hard.
Times is hard, but shit, I still gotta make it happen type of deal, right?
Okay.
Now I haven't spoken to a person yet who has expressed to me that they can't do it. Or they wish that, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna give up. Like I haven't met that person yet. And I know some people are in either a similar situation than me, or maybe or even worse than I am. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm saying. When I think of like resiliency, I see people who I know are putting in, I'm gonna go get another job. Right?
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Like I'm making ends meet. We were just talking the other day how people are looking for bed mates.
Right.
People are saying to themselves, listen, I know I don't want to live on the street. I'd rather make this happen.
And some other people would be like, I'd rather die
Right.
before I be somebody's bedmate.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Right? So I look at it stuff as like, I feel like people are not that resilient today because I feel like for me, I want to say your love and support corner is where it's at.
Right.
People are not, I don't say socializing, but I want to say socializing. Someone that people are not really like socializing or entwining themselves with stuff with a strong love support corner.
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason why they go through these steps. But it's not only just that to that level, it's just that if people were resilient and stuff like that, the word no wouldn't really like shadow their world like that. Like if some people are going out here looking for like a loan for like a business or something like that.
Right.
And let's say their credit is not right or something's not right and stuff, whatever, or they get denied.
Right.
They get denied and stuff, whatever. Like if you're resilient and stuff, you're like, it's okay. I'll just save my money a few more years to get da-da-da-da, or I'll probably repair these things on my credit, to make it happen.
Right.
Right? But then there's other people and stuff is like, they're just devastated. Like, I can't move forward or I'm stuck in the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
Try again.
R.I.P. Aaliyah, but there's a lot of people and stuff that's not really trying some shit like that with them. Like, okay, let's say we keep it like to a smaller, minute level. Look at the podcasting.
Right.
How many people and stuff, they started a podcast stuff and have been like, all right, they even started with a team.
Yeah.
This team might not be working for me. But I know this might be my thing.
Right.
Let me find a new team.
Right.
They're not resilient enough like that.
Right.
Because it's kind of looking like this didn't go the way I planned or it didn't go to what my dreams like entailed.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah. And then, but okay, with that example too, but then you have a lot of people who are just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna try it for the sake of trying it, and if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work, and then they'll give themselves a time limit on it, right? So, and that's
but was it a reasonable time limit? Because I don't think a lot of people do reasonable time limits.
No, but
okay,
because
if you're
what would you if you look at it as it's something that you want to try, then it's gonna be like, I guess a reasonable time limit is gonna be personal, right? Like how much time are you gonna give yourself before you decide for it not to be something for you, or it is gonna be something for you that you should try and pursue?
I mean, yeah, you shouldn't go by nobody else's benchmark.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where, like if you said, I was going to see if I can do a podcast.
Yeah. Which everybody and their grandma said.
And you record 2 episodes.
Yeah.
To me, that's not a benchmark.
No, it's not a benchmark.
And that's what I'm saying. So I look at it stuff like, and there will be some people out there that'll say, you know what? I'll take this. I did these 2, meaning I know I can do it. But I'm like, you ain't do shit though.
Nah, of course they haven't done anything. They tested the water. They put their toe in.
Right. So that's how I look at it. Stuff is like, yeah, when it doesn't go their way, people get catastrophic and desperate out here. Like there's a lot of entitled people out here and stuff in today's world.
There is.
So, and they feel like certain things and stuff or certain roses should be thrown at them.
There is.
Certain accolades. And if it's not thrown at them and stuff, they're like either you're dick riding or you're a hater.
Right.
Right? Like I feel like there's no in between and stuff in today's world.
Yeah. No,
so now if you have no in between and stuff, whatever, if either you're for something, and if you're not for it, then you're against it. So people aren't that resilient today, to me. Okay.
I think if you have and the younger ones, you know what? I'll even put an age to it. I think if you were around and you were you made it through the first housing crisis and you were part of that and you came through that.
If you're young and you're around,
that's what I said. I'll put an age to it. I think younger people are less resilient. I think the older people, if you were around and you was it 2008? When was the last stock market crash? Or the housing bubble? When was that?
08, 09.
It was 08, 09, right? Yeah, I think if you came out of that, I think you came out of that with a little resiliency, and then like what you're going through now, you're almost looking at it like, well, if I could survive stuff back then, then I can survive it now.
Mm.
But I can see a lot of young people now not having that, not knowing, not having that whole I've come through the mud type of deal to build up that type of resiliency. Because a lot of times people need to build the resiliency.
Well, I always look at it when it comes to resiliency is that you do push-ups, you do dips, you do squats to get the outside muscles strong and strengthened.
Mm.
What do you do mentally and stuff for that to get mentally stronger?
Right.
And I always feel like you should practice on like things like resilience.
Right.
That's just my take and stuff.
No,
because
that's a
kind
good
of
take.
like I think people just forget there's hard times and stuff out
Right.
there. Like,
but what would be a good way to? This is good. What would you think of? Like when you say that, what would be a good way to practice resiliency?
keep it a buck. I look at worst case scenarios,
right?
And hypotheticals
Mhm.
are good ways and stuff for that because I feel like you have some kind of theory that goes by. I know some people, they're not fond of hypotheticals,
Right.
but I look at it where, because I ask somebody like, maybe some other hypotheticals questions like even pertain to the podcast. And then I've as the people and stuff, they're resistant, not resilient.
Right.
They're resistant to answer these things and stuff like that, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't go up in that hypothetical or ideal or fairy tale fictional world and stuff. I'm like, okay, so what do you do to prepare if it did happen?
Right.
Right? Because like I want to say, okay, I might throw a hypothetical at you and stuff, whether you're on the island and stuff like that, teeny tiny island, or fuck it, you saw some movie. Which movie coming to my head? It was a shark. The one Blake Lively, The Beach. Like it is the Beach is Brad. Shit, watch too much fucking movies.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is in The Beach, not The Beach, but Shallows.
Okay,
The Shallows.
Yeah.
She's a surfer. She got fucked up.
Right.
She was bleeding. She went
Right.
on a little rock thing and stuff and realized there was a big, great white shark out there fucking up some things and stuff for her, from attacking like the dead whale carcass to eating somebody else who came out there and everything like that.
Yeah.
Some people, like, she held on.
Okay.
She held on. It's kind of like, now if you're watching this as a movie, you're like, oh shit. Would I just stay out there that long? Because she was thirsty as shit, can't drink salt water.
Can't drink salt water.
So she looked at certain type of things and she's like, yo.
The hypotheticals. When you said that, it reminded me of the one part in the End Game.
Talk about it.
With Doctor Strange. He looked like he was twerking. But really, remember he was like he was glitching, but really he was going through hundreds of thousands of different possibilities on how it could end.
Okay, so vibrating to me was different from your twerking.
I said twitching. I didn't say twerking.
You said twerking.
I said twitching. I said twerking.
Check the tape.
We check the tape.
Check the
We
tape.
check the tape. We gotta check the tape after.
That's some itches cough. What the fuck? That was wild. Half and half. I look at it stuff as where, you put yourself in these possibles.
Right.
You think about these possibles. Yes, you're mentally preparing yourself because at least you have like a what to do manual in your head if it was to happen.
If it was to happen.
Right. So then therefore, if you're going through the practical and stuff, whatever, you have something to base on if your thought is proper.
Right.
Thought process is proper. I look at this stuff as where, and that's parental aspect. It starts as an environmental type of thing first.
Yeah. And
I want to say like surrounding parental aspect and family and upbringing, like neighborhood, those things play a parameter and stuff, whatever too.
Right.
Because if you live in a neighborhood where, let's say, sad to say, but like, Mexico, when the kids had those gun drills, like in case the cartel or whosoever stuff, they know the kids how to do all that type of stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
You take a kid that never been in a setting like that and like gunshots are going off, they might be standing up and they might get touched.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing gun drills.
Right.
They're doing fire drills and stuff at certain works and certain facilities and stuff there. So therefore, if you are in this worst case scenario, you're at least kind of prepared with the know-how and stuff. And that's part of resilience training. To me.
Yeah. No. That makes sense.
All right.
What else we got? Poll number 2.
Poll number 2. Do you miss your ex?
No.
44% said sometimes.
Sometimes.
And other 56% said they rather walk on Legos. I am the asshole that did say that. That did choose those options and stuff on what to say. Now talk about it now. Why don't you miss your ex? Did you hate your ex that bad? All your exes? All your exes were horrible?
No.
So you had to think about one ex.
And like I said, like some of my exes, I'm friends. Like I still like, we talk when we see each other and stuff like that. But it's not at the point where,
you don't miss something about them.
I'm pining for them. Nah.
You're pining for the what?
Pining for them to be back in my life for this.
No, okay, but even like there's something about your ex that you might miss, like a ex that you might miss. Like I look at stuff as where I'll say pertain to my ex-wife.
Right.
Pertain to my ex-wife and stuff. How our relationship marriage ended. It was very unfortunate, but I look at it stuff as where I learned a lot.
Okay.
Right? So I look at it stuff as where
you miss learning?
You
miss learning?
No, but I look at it stuff as there's certain lessons. Not everybody can teach you the same lesson.
Right.
So I learned certain lessons and stuff being with that person or being with another ex and stuff. There's just certain type of things you can take away because some people you might not experience it and stuff if you're with somebody else.
Right.
Right? Like say if you never ate spicy foods and then somebody took you to a place and stuff where your first time eating spicy food. I remember, I think it was a Ben Stiller movie. And I think he never really ate spicy foods, but I think Along Came Polly. I think that's what the movie was. And the man, he ate the spicy food and the man, like, he's about to like shit his life away. And he looked like he was losing pounds while he was eating the food.
Yes.
Right? And she's like, I don't think he's ever been on a date like that before, right?
Probably not.
So I look at it stuff as like, where that's an experience by itself.
Get some spice in your life.
Shit, more ways than some. But yeah, I look at something like, do I miss them and stuff like, oh, I wish I was with them and stuff, whatever? Absolutely not. I just look at it as stuff as where there's certain things stuff about a person that you would miss. So since you're not a fan of your ex like that, would you want to say some bad things to your ex?
Nah.
Yeah, at peace,
like,
right?
Well, I'm at peace. We're at peace. As I'm saying, it's not like I just don't. I don't know. It's one of those things where I've said to myself, I'm never going to go backwards in life. And I think that I want to say it hasn't always applied to like women prior to in my life, but it's like once a relationship is done, then it's typically done. And I guess for me, I probably want to disassociate all the sort of all type of like feelings or whatever. You know what I mean? Just to make sure it's like it's completely done, and then whoever's up next will pretty much replace that.
But you said to me, like I remember sometime definitely on the show,
right?
You'd never stop loving somebody.
No, I don't think you can ever stop loving
anybody. So if you really love this ex, whatever.
But I'm not gonna sit here and say I loved all my exes.
No, I'm not saying you love all your exes.
But that's a whole different scenario. If I love somebody, you don't really fall out of love right away. It takes time to fall in love. It may take longer time to fall out of love than it took you to fall in love.
Of course,
right? But yeah, a lot of these exes, they're most likely exes because there's probably something in there that we didn't love about each other.
So you never had a chick cut it off with you? You guys it sound like your breakups always been like amicable.
I've had one chick
that broke up with you.
That broke up with me, and like I said,
and you looked at her like you're lost toots.
No, I think probably like the first week or two.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in my feelings. Yeah, I thought about it, but I quickly, like I said, I don't want to be in a situation where I want to or dwell or think about what it is, because I know going forward, I don't want it to be a baggage type of deal. So as much as I possibly can, I'm trying to leave it as amicable, tongue twister for me, as I possibly can. And then it's almost like a mutual acquaintance type of feeling. I don't got no bad feelings against you. You don't got no bad feelings against me. But there's nothing gonna be in my mind to say to me, man, I like the way you used to drag your toes in the sand.
Like cooking, maybe?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I would probably be on the sometimes aspect. I would definitely be. I think I'd definitely be on the sometimes aspect, and it's not even just like a nostalgic factor. But I just look at it as for me. I look at it as where if the person crossed my mind,
yeah.
What is it like?
Okay,
what Biggie said
without saying any names, right? Thinking back, is there anything that pops into your mind that there's like a specific thing that you miss?
Yeah, some people have fire conversation.
Okay, so
like I look at
so
it.
You miss a fire conversation.
Yeah, well, I want to say with specific people and stuff will have like a type of conversation and stuff because their banter or like their personality or they can take a joke and all that type of stuff. Like I look at it as where I went on a date with a woman and stuff one time and like she had no kind of personality.
Yeah.
Right? And we were just there, like she was physically attractive, but she had no kind of personality. Right. And then I thought back about like previous women I probably dated, like, previously on Marvin.
Right.
Which women and stuff, whatever, had like personality and stuff. And then they would cross my mind.
Right.
Like I look at it stuff as where, see, I think the X aspect of stuff, whatever, is like, people are really looking at like stuff like situational ships as not relationships.
Right.
Right. But if you were in something like close to enough to a situational ship, boss, that person quantifies the X whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Some people won't look at it like that. That's what I'm saying.
They should.
That's why they call it situational ship.
They should look at it as
I didn't have a man.
Yeah.
I didn't have a woman.
Yeah.
It was a situational ship. But if this person is to jump off your bandwagon and go holler at somebody else or be with somebody else, stuff, you'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
If you don't think zero fucks about them, I would feel like you never really cared.
Yeah.
But if you kind of did care about them or get some kind of shredder and feeling stuff for there, there's some aspect you got to miss in somebody and stuff for there. I have loved ones that are gone. Then it's never gonna happen again,
right?
Because they're dead and gone. But I still miss them.
Yes,
from time to time.
Yes.
So I feel like if I can do that to people who are dead and no longer on the planet, and people are still walking around, why can't I? So I'm with sometimes.
Yeah, no, I think if I'm gonna do that or find something that I'm gonna miss about a particular person, I'll probably, for me personally, I'll probably try and see if I can find what I miss and see if I can replace it. Because I don't want to ever think of it not being.
So hold on. So you break up with a woman who was funny.
Yeah.
You with a new woman that's not funny. You're gonna keep hunting for a woman that's funny like that person.
Well, I'm gonna continue hunting for somebody who's funny. Somebody else can be funny in a different way. It doesn't necessarily have to be funny that person.
Yeah, I still think you're splitting ends. You're still thinking about the person.
No, like if she was funny, right? What if I just spoke to that person because she was funny?
Right, and then you don't work out with that person.
Right?
Are you gonna hunt or?
But I wasn't with her. I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, she's funny, because I could have probably been dating maybe 5, 6, 7 girls in a row who had similar type of sense of humor and wits. So now I just got to find somebody else who has a similar sense of humor and wit. It's not that I miss that particular thing about that person,
but there's a pattern.
I just missed that.
And that's what I'm saying. There's a pattern, and the pattern started from somewhere.
It could have been starting from just me sitting down with a bunch of friends who like to have funny conversations. It doesn't necessarily have to start with an ex.
No, but you're with a friend,
right?
Or you're with a group of friends and stuff, whatever.
Right.
You start off like with a funny conversation and stuff, whatever. Then you date a woman and stuff, and you're like, oh shit, you can have funny conversations and stuff.
Yes.
With her.
Yes.
That doesn't work out. Now you start dating some vanilla ass women and stuff like.
And they got funny conversations.
No shade to no races.
And they got funny conversations too.
But they don't have funny conversations.
Oh, then I'm not saying.
But you're looking for funny conversations like woman 5, like woman number 1.
I know, but I could be looking at funny conversations from my just period. It doesn't have to be woman number 1.
No, I'm not saying
I like
that,
woman number 1.
No, I'm not saying that because you have funny conversations with your friends,
right?
And it inspired you, to be with a woman that you can have funny conversations with. Now you're not with a woman.
Right.
You can still have the funny conversations with friends.
Yes.
But you enjoyed the moment with this person that you had funny conversations with, but every other woman after that doesn't have funny conversations.
Nah, I'm not pinning the funny conversation to that one girl, and that's because I might like that one particular person over another particular person who has the same sense of humor for a different reason.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have women. Look, woman number 1 had the humor.
Right.
Woman 2 to 7 had no humor.
But I'm saying number 1 and 2. I'm saying number 1 and 2, right?
Okay.
That I meet have humor, right? The number 2 has something else. So I'm not looking at this one here because she has humor, right? They both have humor, and I'm probably gonna meet more people with humor.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's not gonna be a thing where I miss that about you, right? No, you're a funny person. I like funny people. I don't miss you particularly because
I'm not saying
funny.
I'm not saying you miss her particular for that, but
right.
You're dating women who are not funny. That's what I'm saying.
But
2,
that's
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
They look good. One has like a cooking skill.
Yeah.
They have different characteristics.
Yeah.
But they all lack humor.
Okay.
Do you still think about humor?
But then what you're saying then now is it's not what I miss. What I miss is the trait. I don't specifically miss my ex for that trait. I just miss the trait.
Partial, but that's what I'm saying. You haven't had anything else similar to kind of compare. It's kind of like if you slept with picture this.
Right.
You slept with a woman and stuff, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who wheel deal Holyfield put it on you. You talking about like flip from the chandelier and land on the dick and all that type of stuff, whatever, right? Yeah. And every other woman you date after that, don't flip and land on the dick.
Don't flip and land on the dick. Right.
And then now somebody comes up with a conversation like, man, I used to have a chick that used to flip and like land from chandelier on the dick.
Yeah.
You've been with one woman that has done this.
Right.
The boom flick. Right. Jamaican people love saying boom flick. That's the West Indian me, folks. She's done the boom flick. You got the boom flick at least one time in your life.
At least one
You're
time.
You're not going to think about the person that gave you the boom flick?
Like I said,
you're a liar. You're a liar.
Like I said,
you're a liar.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you, Marv. I don't want to bring that now into my next relationship. And like,
no, I'm not saying you use it as a requirement.
But
that's the part. That's the part I understand.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I say I'll distance myself from that. Right? If if that was something that I liked about you, okay.
You're gonna like the boom flick. You're gonna like the boom flick.
100%. You're gonna like the boom flick. 100%. You're gonna like the bum flick. But now, I may never get that bum flick again.
Yeah, you might never get it again.
And I don't want to have that thought in my mind when I'm out there.
Be like, hi, new miss, how are you? You're woman number 18. Can you boom flick? And she's like,
what's that? I say I need to find
you ever seen a chandelier? You ever swipe from a chandelier? They're like, no, you're not the one for me.
Have you ever been to a dance hall?
Or a WWE event?
WWE event.
Well, yeah. There you go. There you have it. No fun for the son. Shout out to all the dead exes in Smooth World. My exes and stuff. You guys are alive and well. Hopefully, if you ever hear this podcast or
my wife is probably happy as pig in a blanket that y'all are dead in my world.
Oh, without a doubt. Because it works both ways.
Yeah.
It works both ways and stuff, whatever, right? Because I look at it stuff like, for all you know, your woman could be faking everything and stuff, whatever, when you're with her and everything like that. And she could be locked in on said ex.
Yeah.
There's a Black Mirror episode like that. So this is it. It's just a thought. That's what we have here on the Podical Sons. All right. Let's get to some shit real quick. But let's talk.
Where we at?
Is Israel breaking international laws? I don't want to spend too much time and stuff on the Palestinian conflict because it's still going on.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say that. I want to say no peace in the Middle East. Because if you say the Israeli war, a lot of times some people say it sounds like you're for Israel.
Right.
And if you say Palestinian thing, a lot of times people say you're following the Palestinian side. I think for me, it's just kids dying. I have a problem with.
Yeah, kids
in general.
And it is better that you say the East because it's not always those two are not the only players, right? Because you'll have Iran, you have Iraq, like that whole area has just seen conflict for so freaking long. But to go back to what you're saying,
It's the heat.
yes, I think they have violated some laws. That specifically put in place for the civilians. It's not forget the soldiers, right? Like there's innocent people on the ground that just want to live. That just want to live.
Mhm.
And that's their basic right.
It's scary to me where it was a fight to have like a humanitarian like ceasefire
Yeah.
where we couldn't allow, like why would you think like I get certain things.
Yeah.
Right. But I look at it as stuff is where I don't run a country. I'm not trying to stop a quote unquote threat
Right.
to my people
Right.
and stuff. But I just look at it where, let's say you get the kids.
Yeah.
And then you take the kids and stuff there because you've seen a lot of kids have died in both sides
Both
and stuff
sides,
like
yeah.
that, from like the concert goers and stuff, whatever, to like, the bombings in a specific place and other kids and stuff. Where do you not see that a ceasefire should take place or something for like the humanitarian aspect? Because it's like, I feel like you're no longer a human, you're more of an earthling. You're just inhabiting the planet because where's your humanity?
Yeah.
I feel like Israel, like the concessions of like the strikes, the airstrikes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sean King, some of his content for real.
Mm.
And I want to say like when somebody sends me some things, it might be stuff from like what the people sent him.
Right.
To see like a tank run over or roll over a dead body and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like even if I'm driving a tank, because I would hope they didn't see it.
Right.
They didn't see, the corpse.
Yeah.
Right. But if they saw the corpse and like they're taking it for a joke and everything and they just roll over it, you have no more humanity.
You don't. And I'm like, at that point, do you really have to like park your humanity at the door to even say that like you're gonna be a part of this? Like,
you mean like war and fight?
Yeah, like
you have to.
You have to.
You have to. You have to. I mean, I feel like there's tons of soldiers that probably went rogue, or they probably got dishonorable discharge because they're not following orders.
Right.
Because their humanity kicked in.
Yeah.
And they're looking like, yo, buddy, when you sign up and stuff for that, we want you and the whole crew. That's where you check your humanity and stuff. You leave it up on the shelf.
Yeah.
When we send you back home on your break, you can pick it up and stuff, whatever.
Along with your PTSD.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty damn much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Can you imagine like some of these soldiers who have kids of their own?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hot. And
but even okay, let's say 2022, when they start clashing again, Israel and Hamas. Right? Because Israeli soldiers shot people during the holy time and stuff and then killed a few.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for every one death, you're probably breeding two possible Hamas people.
Yeah.
Right? An injustice against one is an injustice against all.
Yeah.
So if you're not putting the quote unquote evildoers down or rectifying them, or what's my big word that I always like to say that I always wish I can say more times and stuff, whatever. It starts with an R. It's kind of like not repercussions, but it's kind of
starts with an R?
Yeah. See, I can't even think of the damn big word now, but it's
reprimanded? No.
Nah, it's just you have to answer for these things.
Repercussion? No, you said not repercussion.
No. There's I forget what it is, but okay, it'll come back to me. You have to answer to these things.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of people, they're not answering.
And
they're getting away. So if you get away, it's going to breed some stuff. One of my favorite animes and stuff of all time is Death Note.
Right.
And there's a situation and stuff where one of the main characters,
Yeah.
her family was killed by like a group of not even group, excuse me, one guy offed her family from mom, father, sibling.
Mm.
And because he's like politician's son or something like that, whatever, he escaped.
Mm.
She never got her justice. So when it came to him getting got, he was on top of the roster.
What do you think about the UN and how the UN is set up?
In what manner?
Like the fact that you can have specific countries, and I'm not sure if it's the original G8 that has like vetoing power over like everything else, because you're seeing like in the UN they're voting, right? And the voting is like 100 and something countries for a ceasefire and 7 against. But any one of those 7 who say no is enough to veto everything else. This is a world organization. Why do certain groups have that much power in this world organization? Then what laws can you possibly enforce?
I feel there's hierarchies to everything.
Right.
That's one of them. Like picture like you might have a gang.
Right.
And you might have a gang of like over 100 or let's say 200 members.
Okay.
You still have like the solid, like maybe original 6 that started off everything.
Mm.
And they're all to always ultimately respected.
Right.
What's the difference?
Okay, so now, do you think if you're again, right? Let's switch the example of the guy who says he's on the right side, going in and crushing the terrorist, right? But that terrorist in that country is looked at as the freedom fighter, right? And all of these freedom fighters now are getting mad and saying, "Hey, well, we're not going to take it no more." If all these countries are banding together and saying, "Listen, they're violating war crimes," and because we're saying, and the funny thing is, these 7, some of them have been up for war crimes, right? So you're saying, okay, well, if they're always going to band together and excuse each other's atrocities, where do we sit as the rest of the group? Are we now going to sit down and let this continue to happen? Yes, they're the original 7 or the original 8, but they're not playing fair with the rest of us. Are we all going to just continue to be loyal because they started this shit?
Oh, so you want to mutiny the original?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and bring it back to the gang example and stuff. Whatever. Little nigga, you just got here. So like, you just got here.
Yeah.
Like we just probably just let you in here,
right?
And you want to take over shop and stuff. This is how we ran things for so long,
right?
This original 7 you're talking about, they've been bad about it,
right?
They've been here.
Yeah.
Now you want to come out here and stuff. You're like, no, this is wrong. Who are you? Get some weight up. Get your weight up.
That's the one guy that always walks around with the little union clip. It tries to get people to secretly sign up for the union.
Of course. But then it's still the new person coming in to try and take out the old.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're looking at stuff like, we started this like this. This is how we're going to run it.
Right.
We're happy to have you on because it benefits us. I look at
us.
Vote always benefits people.
Right.
Who it benefits for and stuff for there, it all depends who wins.
Mm-hmm.
But votes benefit people. So we're like, we have you here. And if we need you to vote or anything like that, yeah. You veto some shit that we might not be on and stuff like that. You got to get your weight up. You have to get your weight up because if the whole world's saying we're against Russia, and then you have a country like China said, we're not against Russia.
Yeah.
Then you look at China. Do they have their weight up? Absolutely they do.
Right.
Another smaller country, if they don't have their weight up, you need this not, hey.
This is not for you. This is not for you. This conversation is not for you.
Homer in the grasses, man. Homer in the bushes.
Just fall back.
Just fall back. Just fall back. That part, man. Who makes more money faster? Elon Musk or President Zelenskyy?
Yeah, one time, I would have been an Elon Musk fan right now, but Zelenskyy raked up a lot in the past few years.
Few years. Wait, are you including campaign? I didn't think that far and stuff into it. If I'm gonna give it like a random, like anecdotal number,
Yeah.
I don't think he might be racked up more than like 5 mil before campaign time. Like almost equivalent. Equivalent 5 mil. No more than that and stuff pertaining to campaign wise. Including this war, Ukrainian war?
Yeah.
Man's in the billions, dog.
I always say, take that number, what they put in front of you, and times it by 2. And that's what they really got. Because a lot of that shit is off the books.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, I can't prove it.
It's all allegation. See, I look at it as where the stuff that they can prove, and like each country gave the dollar amounts and stuff, whatever, too, and you have the dollar amounts from each country. Salute to Canada for not giving too much damn money to that shit, man. Like, it's not even that shit, but you can't pour into someone else's cup if your cup is not full.
Yep.
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that America is doing pertaining to the Ukrainian aspect of the war.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where they feel like some way down the line it'll be beneficial for them. Who knows how far it has to go?
Yeah.
And then for it to be beneficial, because right now you have people like daily pushing up on specific government buildings with protests about inflation going up.
Yep.
Why you guys giving out money to the Ukraine war and to these other wars and stuff like that when the people here are starving? Right? And it's not like, not all of them may be polarized, but it's happening.
It's
and it's happening.
sure happening.
Because even when I look at it, stuff like, it was so funny where even with the Philadelphia local news and stuff that I was seeing and stuff,
right?
There's tons of protests and stuff still going on pertaining to before the Palestinian conflict with the Ukrainian stuff.
Right.
And then that's why I asked you that one time. So before, we dipped off and everything. You're like, you said the war is over.
I think it's over. I still think it's over.
I was like, what? I was like, for real?
I think it's over.
I hear shit.
Listen, when I seen Zelenskyy come on and say, my coffers is empty. Hey, remember us over here? I was like, oh shit. They did forget about y'all.
They did. They did. I feel like people like Zelenskyy and stuff, they play on people's emotion. I don't think that all politicians have the capability, but I think like a good politician would.
Yeah.
But he's not from a political background. So I still feel like the system and the team.
Yeah, he's a showman at best, right?
Showman at best. We'll call it that. Why do you think people in power play on our emotions though? Let me ask you that. Because even like, you'd be like, yeah, you want clean drinking water? Who the fuck doesn't want clean drinking water?
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't want their kids to go to good school?
Yeah.
Or like, so I'm saying like, but why do you need to say all of that?
I know. I think it's one of those traits where people just feel like I can work on the human psyche. If I can work on the human psyche, then I can bend them to my will. It's a lot of will bending, right? And it's you have to think you have to appeal to something in order to sway somebody over to your side. And I think that's what a lot of it is. Like if I say this, maybe it'll appeal to them, and then maybe they'll think more of what I'm thinking, and maybe they might be more subjective to help me out or whatever. Because again, right? Like we're never arguing the fact that what Hamas did was wrong.
Correct.
Right? But now
you'll get an argument though.
Yeah, but now you'll get an argument. But now what we're seeing is that wrong is being taken and justified to do more wrong. And in a situation where a typical person would probably say no, if you're saying no, but look what they did to the kids. Again, the heartstrings, right? You got kids, right? You wouldn't want to see that happen to your kids. So you start to think, man, if I was in that same position, I'd probably want to go do that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. That's the effect of tugging on the heartstrings.
I don't know. I feel like even like minus in the war,
Yeah.
any type of politician comes up on a platform, they're aiming for emotions. Like I even feel like even kissing babies and stuff like that, they're letting you know and stuff, whatever. I'm friendly or I'm warm enough, and babies like me and shit like that, whatever. Because I'm still trying to gain some kind of favor, some kind of aspect and stuff too, right? And I look at it as I see it as a con.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And because I see it as a con, I look at it stuff as where most con artists, they're going on their emotion.
Right.
Why do you need like even a smear campaign? I feel like there should be no smear. If your shit's that good,
Yeah.
the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
You don't need a smear campaign. Right. But okay, I think most, like I even say the word smear campaign, most people they'll say Donald Trump.
Right.
Right. And then I remember one of my friends, I said it to them, they're like, oh, like when Biden told Trump to shut up and everything. Right.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be a smear campaign?
Smear
campaigns always go on. They've been going on way, like I said, like
I think with the smear campaigns, I think it's less of like pulling the attention on you and more of sowing the seed of doubt in the next person.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Yikes. I don't know. Con. Wait.
Con man. Confidence, man. Build upon your confidence.
Do we con ourselves along with the con artists who are conning us?
Listen, man.
Peter Piper, pick a pepper.
I'm trying to stay awake here. Help me out here, man.
Well, because I look at it stuff as you have to believe some spatial performer in the con.
In the con. You have to.
And then you have to know you're being conned. Like, I want to say, how long have people been voting for?
Right.
And honestly, okay, Trump, I'm going to build a wall. Trump has been in and out of office for 4 years.
Yeah.
Is this wall complete?
No, it's not complete. They started it.
But he conned them. And you have to know at some spatial performer stuff, that this man is conning you.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like you con yourself with a con artist. You lean into
Do you think
it.
it'll ever be complete?
What, the wall?
Yeah.
Some spatial perform.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of this what's it, dystopian shit, whatever.
Right.
It's gonna be some city shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like, yo, okay. We live in this big slap ass city, then we're gonna have these slums.
Right.
And we're gonna build walls to keep some of them slum motherfuckers out.
Right.
So I don't think it's gonna be different compared to a country.
You know, when I also when I think about it, right?
Mm.
Because now that wall, right? It being built it's generating something, right? It's either generating some form of
jobs,
employment, right? Some sort of law might have been built around it, some sort of something where now the next person who jumps in office can kind of use this, right? Like the con continues with somebody else.
Con!
We need to finish this wall, right?
Yeah.
The last president couldn't do it. I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
The con continues. Continue. Yo. Well, I'll play this. I feel like when a lot of times with the cons, there's always going to be problems to solve, but not everything's a crisis.
Okay.
That.
Yeah.
And I feel like the con artist or the particular politician, they're making everything seem like a crisis. Whatever they mentioned will seem like a crisis.
Right.
We need to put the wall up.
Yeah.
To keep out the bad ones.
Yeah.
Or they're going to do, but he said rape Mexicans are rapists?
The
drug dealers and rapists?
Drug dealers and rapists. We got to stop the fentanyl from crossing the border. We got a big fentanyl prop. Once you can't get the people, because remember, you know, those who are coming across the border, We know that, yeah, there's gonna be some criminals elements in it, but majority of them, I'd like to think, is people searching for a new life in this great country that you call America. They want to try and make a life of living, right? So it's a humanitarian thing when you send them or you treat them this way, this, that way. So now they're saying, okay, well, that angle is not working with the people. Let's go with the drugs. Well, we know fentanyl is just fucking up the country. If I say now, let's build the wall to keep the fentanyl out from fucking up our kids, how do you argue with that?
Stop all fentanyl sales.
Yo, the illest thing I heard was the Chinese are manufacturing, or no, the Chinese are sending the chemicals to Mexico, for Mexico to manufacture the fentanyl, for the fentanyl to be sent to the US to fuck up everybody. Like, what kind of 6 degree of separation mashed up into one big Play-Doh ball of different colors you trying to tell me?
You think that's wrong?
I'm thinking, well, how do they come up? Where's the proof? Just like you say, like, where's the evidence to that?
I would say TikTok. That's why TikTok went to court.
That's why TikTok went to court?
Because I found it miraculous and stuff that you have the Chinese, their TikTok and our TikTok and stuff. They created a TikTok.
Yes.
And their TikTok is not the same as ours.
No.
That's the reason why TikTok went to court. They're like, yo, boss, why is that your TikTok is all clean? Like, you guys glorify, let's say, good grades, humanity, and everything like that. But you want our TikTok to have people dancing over some songs, doing some nonsense and stuff like that. But you guys have a set different kind of parameter set of stuff on the same thing, like your same app, and you're like, yeah, because your country we don't give a fuck about. You probably trying to fuck your shit up from starting to this
app. I don't give a
app.
shit what you want. I'm gonna make sure my kids see what I need them to see. Whatever your kids want to see, that's your business.
Made in China. Put that logo on it. Solve everything.
Stamp it. Stamp it.
Is giving hope to the hopeless a bad thing, though?
No. I think we all could do with a little hope.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, man.
And I think that's what some of these politicians do. They give hope to the hopeless.
I think you shouldn't oversell it. I think it's okay to give hope where hope where it's possible, but don't sell an impossible dream.
Isn't it to the individual though, how they take it? Because it's like kind of like an interpretation thing. If I go in and say be all you can be,
right.
I'm not telling you to be in the army. But if you jump up and you want to be in the army and stuff, whatever, like you told me be all I can be, and I joined the army. Whoa, boss. Calm down, slow your roll, pump your brakes. I said be all you can be.
Yes.
And
and that's open to interpretation, right?
Yeah.
But you're not setting you're right. But you're not setting no parameters on what that person can be. So it's up to that individual. When I say like, don't sell an impossible dream, like, oh, join the stock market and you're gonna become a millionaire in like a few years. No, it takes a little bit more than just joining the stock market.
I don't think you've seen these YouTube commercials.
But they're selling impossible dreams more.
Bro, let me tell you something. I saw a YouTube ad and stuff, whatever. Yes, to the ones out there, I am still a brokey to the YouTube thing. Yeah. That might get me soon. Spice up a few more things for Canada, you might get me. You might get me, whatever. I look at it stuff as like the cost of my Spotify and the cost of my and the possible YouTube.
Right.
Only a few dollars difference, but I feel like there's so much more I can do with the YouTube. For the extra dollars.
With the YouTube.
Right? But I look at it as stuff as where,
oh my gosh, like, YouTube is a horrible place. There's an impossible dream sold by the second.
Dear YouTube. Blurt out this motherfucking side and stuff there when you show the Podical Sons videos. Not this side. See the shiny forehead. See the beard. Not me. I saw a YouTube ad. It came on. I had to look at it twice.
Okay.
They use AI on this.
Right.
They use what's Oprah's girlfriend name?
Gail?
Gail.
Okay.
They use Gail.
Okay, I've seen the fake Elon Musk.
Yeah,
ads.
that
I've-
one,
I've seen-
that
I've
one,
seen
that
the-
one, that
Okay,
one.
okay, right.
To a lesser person,
Yeah.
you saw that, you're like, oh shit. Was it Good Morning CBS? That's what
Right,
Gail's
yes,
on?
yeah.
You're like, Good Morning CBS talks about this thing right here?
Right.
I seen Elon Musk, and like, hi, I'm Elon Musk. And you know, it's like the Shaolin Temple,
Yeah.
and the old
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah,
Kung Fu
right.
dub. I was looking like, what the fuck? This is the first thing I said. Because I had it on my computer screen. I was looking
Yeah.
like, Gail was talking about Elon Musk?
Right.
I have sense.
Yeah.
I have sense.
Yeah.
Some people have nonsense.
No.
And so you're like, yo, this program is gonna get me rich. It can quantum mechanic every fucking thing. I just gotta throw my money to it. I'll be balling by next summer.
Ballin'!
You have to believe in a con, man. You have to believe in a con.
I'm gonna have a picture of Khan on this cover.
Let's get to the question of the week, man.
Question of the week.
Question of the week.
How often have you been conned?
That would have been nice.
That would have been a good question of the week.
Run with that.
Run with that? Okay.
How often? What?
How often have you been conned?
I don't get conned that often. I want to say now because I want to say intelligence, self-awareness, and I want to say experience.
Yeah.
So I think, once bitten, twice shy.
Right.
That concept and stuff is like real.
Yeah.
The older you get. Because I think probably if you hear it and you probably heard it at a younger state in your life,
Yeah.
it probably didn't mean shit to you until it meant shit to you. Right? Like I look at it, some of your life lessons and stuff from your parents.
Right.
They've probably, you know what? I said this the other day and stuff. Parenthood is like a fucking Saw movie. And I say it like that because, especially like in that Saw Part 1, you lost me after Saw 2. I like, if they're still sawing some shit, it's up to, shout out to Jigsaw. Now, in Part 1, spoiler alert if you didn't see it, they had the key on them.
Yeah.
But the guy, he thrashed when he got out, and the key went down the drain.
Yeah.
When it comes to parenthood, I feel like the proper parents give their children the keys.
Yeah.
They don't want, they're resistant to the keys. What happened? Later, they go looking
for the keys. Yeah. Hmm. Let the church say,
Amen. So that's why when I was looking at some of those things, I was like, yes, I've probably been conned in my younger days and stuff, whatever, easy too. Like I remember my father used to do this. It was some stupid shit, like some Jamaican shit, whatever. With the like the piece of tape on this finger and stuff, whatever. Flyway Peter. He got you.
He got me.
He got you in it too. You see what I'm saying?
Come back, Peter. Come back. Where did Peter Paul go?
I was like, oh shit. Experience, self-awareness and stuff to know for fact the man switched fingers and stuff with the tape and all that type of stuff. And this guy's looking at him being a con artist and stuff like, look at this dumbass kid right here. And then I look at like even with the whole card trick shit, whatever, right? Or like even the pool sharks, the hustlers,
right?
The double to nothing type of people and stuff. Like they'll get you.
Yeah.
They got you. So I want to say,
yeah. I don't know. A couple of times when I was younger, I've been got. But just like you're saying, experience. Once bitten, twice shy. You start to be more cautious of certain things.
Check this: lotto tickets, right?
Right.
Think about a lotto ticket and stuff, whatever. Say these motherfuckers already have the number picked.
Yeah.
Powers that be had the number picked.
Yeah.
I look at it stuff as where I know companies and stuff to say like, all right, we're gonna let your auntie, brother, sister, kind of cost you named Sally's little nephew win this contest we're gonna make. So we're gonna have 100,000 people apply, pay for, and all the above.
Mm-hmm.
We already picked our fucking winner,
Mm-hmm.
but we conned 150,000 people. Or 149,000.
Yo, I'll bring it even closer to that. Yo, I got a job for you. You're gonna have the position, but I can't give it to you. So we're gonna let everybody else apply for the position. Just know that you have the position.
Yeah. Pretty much. So like I said, like, I think conning, like, I would think most of the time and stuff now, I don't get conned as much.
Right.
I don't believe I'm getting conned. But then again, who's to say and stuff until, like, you know, that moment might arise.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're like, oh shit, I've been conned. So I feel like a few politicians have conned a few people. I feel like a few women have conned me in some ways.
The other day, they just mentioned of us being price gouged by the phone companies.
Con.
Con.
The cons. Oh, the cons.
Mm.
Okay. Let's get to the Ask the Sons then.
That's the Sons.
First Ask the Sons comes from FrickkenDude.
All right.
FrickkenDude said, what food/drink makes you nostalgic?
Makes me nostalgic. Patty and cocoa bread and cola champagne.
What does it make you think of?
My childhood.
All the time.
Oh, yeah. Like anytime, like I remember that, like that would be a staple. Cause okay, you see where my mom's house is, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the corner where the Freedom Mobile used to be.
Yeah.
Just right at the corner there used to be a West Indian shop. I don't know if you ever met this elderly lady named Faye. Old family friend.
Look, Faye is a classic name, okay?
It is a classic name, but I don't think there was much family friends with the name that we knew. But she owned the West Indian shop right around the corner.
You don't know Aunt Faye? Shout out to Aunt Faye.
That's what I said. I only know two Fays. That Aunt Faye and the other Faye that I'm talking about.
There's a lady I work with and stuff, whatever. I call her Faye, or her name is Faye, right?
Right.
And I call her Faye.
You call her Faye?
I call her Faye because I remember there's one anime I watched back in the day called Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Her name was Faye Valentine.
Okay.
So anytime I've run into most Fays,
yeah,
because the character they used to call out Faye,
right?
Like her name was Ed, and she was like, "Yo, Faye." So anytime I see a Faye, it's always a double up. And I ran into, I want to say, me living in Canada.
Yeah.
Probably I just knew like Aunt Faye.
Right.
It went to probably less than 10.
Okay.
It's less than 10.
I personally like I know. Okay, so Aunt Faye,
talk about
and
the
then
shop.
there's Faye around the corner. But it's like it's the first shop that I was allowed to go to and actually buy. You know what I mean? Because she knew the family, she knew me, as a little kid, you're not supposed to stray too far.
Right.
Just around the corner. Here, have some change, go buy something. And I would go and buy patty and cocoa bread. I love the combination. I didn't want to have the patty by itself. It had to have the cocoa bread. And I had to have that pop. So now, when I pop into like a West Indian spot, and I see the patties there, if they don't have cocoa bread, I ain't fucking with it.
Keep it a buck. I want to say food-wise, whatever, I'm a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
So a lot of food stuff will kind of bring me back to simpler, happy times, or even just like foodgasm moments.
Right.
I think the Coca-Cola had a chokehold. Not saying Coca-Cola doesn't have a chokehold on people today.
Yeah.
But yo, when it came to the Christmas and those polar bears and the Santa packs, they rocked it back then. They had commercials. Santa packs are coming. Santa packs are coming. So whenever you see like the polar bears for like the Christmas edition things and stuff, pertaining to Coca-Cola, it takes me right back to childhood. For me.
I can see that.
That's a good question. Oh, I saw this.
Yeah.
I like this question. Mariah _ John 909. If you could swap each other for another co-host, who would it be?
We could swap each other for another co-host. Does it have to be known, or is it
You can shoot it up. Oh, shoot it out. You don't know nobody. Wait, you know somebody that might not be publicly known or a public figure?
No,
You
I'm
wanna
just
swap
saying
out?
if this person was looking for like a celebrity type of person to swap out with, or is just
Anybody.
It's hard. I would have to say, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've always liked him as a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, for some reason, he's got he's got that attitude where he'll say stuff and it'll come out, and sometimes you don't know how to take it, but then you know how to take it.
Mm.
So I think that part would be akin to you. But then when I think about it, I'm not sure if I can have like the type of conversations. I don't know if I can have the type of conversations I have with anybody else but you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have to find somebody equivalent that on your type of level.
So you wouldn't take a Chappelle? I feel like Chappelle is intellectual.
Chappelle,
with dark humor.
yeah. Chappelle would, yeah.
Well, we're
Chappelle.
both dark men, so it's like it's just humor then.
Chappelle will work. Chappelle will work. But again, the intellectual part,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But then, you know, the back and forth banter, I think it's there because like we know each other personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like we share the same sense of humor. I only know Dave's sense of humor from off of what I see from like the comedy acts, the movies, and so forth like that. I've never had that sit down in person conversation.
Do you think
with
he'll
him.
be funny or be the same way in a sit down conversation?
I think he'd be funny, but then you know there's a lot of things where I think with us there's a lot of recollection helps.
What do you mean?
Where there's certain things that we've been through together and we know, and then like we can go back and have a relatable moment.
Why,
Like I couldn't have any relatable moments with somebody outside of me personally who I don't know. And then those people who I can have relatable moments with, I don't think they have the chops to have the conversations that we have to keep a podcast going.
Really?
So it would be hard for me to replace you as a host. But like I said, Chris Tucker, because I've always liked him as a comedian. And I probably spend majority of my time just picking his brain.
I would want somebody opposite. Like
You want somebody opposite?
Like opposite from I don't like echo chamber.
Mm.
I don't like echo chamber. Like I want to say this is what I'm saying. I want the smoke. But I look at it and stuff as where for myself,
Yeah.
I always like to see like, all right, if you're willing to stand on that hill and I'm willing to stand on this hill, let's formulate a middle ground and stuff, right? But I
Right.
feel like a lot of times with certain people and stuff, whatever, I want to say there's certain things you'll stand on middle ground with me, and there's certain things you won't stand on middle ground with, whatever, right? But I
Right.
look at it stuff as like I feel like that's people to people.
Yeah.
I just feel like, let's say one middle ground you don't stand on the side with me and stuff is that you're religious, like you, regardless of a lot, you believe in your God,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You believe in your God and you believe in your Bible and you read your Bible and
Right.
everything like that.
Yeah.
But a baptism is supposed to renew and wash your body and your sins and your body count away.
Right.
And you're not for that.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's somewhere you're standing on, regardless. And I'm looking at them like, how do you believe in the Bible in this aspect? But you're picking and choosing what part you believe and stuff in the Bible with,
Right.
with certain people and stuff. And I'm looking like, you see, with me, I'm not looking at stuff as like, we're not like, you know, we're like, you're on that hill, I'm on this hill and stuff there. But I'm like, can you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people and stuff won't even be able to do that.
Yeah, wouldn't.
And that's what I'm saying. That's just an example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I think person-wise, whatever, I thought out when you said comedian, because I said Chappelle first, but I'm like, no, I would take Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan.
White comedian, 3 mics. If you haven't seen it, remarkable type of thing.
Yeah.
And Chappelle been rocking since like 92.
Hmm.
That's the reason why
I didn't
Chappelle scooped him and stuff, whatever. Him and Chappelle have been like, they started
Was
off
he-
comedy together, like
was-
18 years old.
Was he in was he one of the original guys on the Pineapple Express? Or was that somebody?
Pineapple Express. Half
No,
Baked?
sorry, Half Baked.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I forget, like they had a term for those. He was like, well, you know what your bit would probably need if you had a joke about, like, I don't know, fat babies or something like that, whatever. He always give like little leg ups and give them ideas, suggestions and stuff like that.
Got it.
That was always been in his landscape.
Right.
So it's kind of like him and Dave and stuff been clicking since like they were 18,
Right.
right? I would take I think my second runner up, whatever, it would be a woman.
Mm.
I would like
I don't know which woman you'd pick.
a woman?
Yeah. Because again, are you still okay when you take the woman? Are you still looking for somebody who's outside the echo chamber?
Yeah, I don't want somebody
Okay.
nothing like. I think I champion people to go talk to people that's not in your echo chamber,
Right.
but people can't handle that because I feel like that's where your growth kind of begins. Again, like part of this Palestinian-Israeli conflict thing.
Yeah.
You have, let's say the people in the Hamas side,
Mhm.
they're more of a situation where they're like, they have to see it our way. And the
Right.
people are like, but you came to a concert and you killed innocent kids, young people and stuff that came to this concert.
Yeah.
You've abducted people. They're like, no, it's for a righteous cause. It's for a just cause. Okay, your people in your echo chamber is telling you this and stuff for there, but like these people are like loved ones that are innocent till they probably didn't play with a water gun, much less
Right.
whatever, right?
Right.
Or probably even for your cause.
And you didn't even. They'll never have the chance to express that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I always say I employ people to talk to people outside the echo chamber and stuff. But a lot
Right.
of people and stuff, they look like they don't want to deal with it, or it's too much smoke, or they don't got time for it and stuff like that. No, I would. I would want a white woman, a white woman. I would love a lovely. I don't know yet. I want to say
when you said woman, Tim, I think the first woman that came to my mind who I'd probably want to sit with would maybe be Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. I can see that. Yeah, I would love to have a podcast with her or something like that. She might. We might box.
Yeah, no, you two will definitely box.
We might box because I think, and you know what my thing is
Because she's the next. I'm gonna stand on this hill.
right, and
Right.
she can't formulate a middle ground and stuff, whatever, which is fine. But the thing is stuff is that there's some facts you just can't deny.
No.
Right?
Right.
There's certain things you just can't deny. But then to the naysayers, they're gonna just not hold it accountable. They're just gonna disregard it. It's just gonna be rude and stuff,
Right.
whatever to it, right?
Right.
You see some of these things like you're responsible and adult.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
Hold yourself accountable
yourself
to some
accountable,
things and
of
stuff,
course.
whatever. And they're looking like, no,
I don't wanna.
that part. That's a good ass question. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Last question comes from Phoebeez. Which person had the worst down spiral in the past few years? Oh, yeah, I know. Britney Spears.
Brittany.
To me, I feel like it's Britney Spears and stuff. For their next in line and stuff is probably like Jamie Foxx. Because I don't know if it's clone or not. Like this clone shit got me hyped. Yo, these things got me hyped when it comes to Jamie Foxx. I was like, first of all, Jamie Foxx is a beloved American figure.
Mhm.
They're like, where's the tattoo? I'm like,
Yeah, that part.
where's Jamie's tattoo?
That part, right?
And then they're like, yo, like the time where he kind of just got sick.
Yeah.
It was one thing. See, the Will situation, I don't really hold Will's life against him like that because
And
he still chooses to participate.
Right, and I was about to say, in the Will situation, I don't really think it's affecting. Well, if it is affecting him, he's not letting it show. He's, like you're saying, he's still willing to participate in all of it. I don't think it's affecting his bread or butter or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
So, no, I wouldn't put Will. I was thinking Kevin Hart with the injury that he suffered.
He's walking though.
He's walking, but since then though, I haven't really heard of any like him doing any shows or anything like that. So is he still in recovery? He's still like he's now walking now. Is he still taking that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of his body injuries now. I think once you, well, he was a healthy individual and stuff like that prior. But
Right.
I feel like their bounce back or the resilience aspect and stuff is pretty good for a person who treats their body good.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I think if it was for having to like a lesser person and stuff,
Yeah.
might not be so
Might
swift.
not,
I think Kevin Hart is just super busy. Keep it a buck.
Mm.
So I think when you're super busy, and I don't want to say haters gonna say it's fake, but I look at it stuff as like I think Kevin Hart has conquered your stand-up comedy aspect.
Right.
And the reason why I say it like that, I'm not saying that is there people better than Kevin Hart in stand-up comedy? Absolutely.
Right.
Is Kevin Hart the worst? No, he's not.
No.
But I look at it stuff as where most of these stand-up comics and stuff, their start is maybe open mic or amateur night somewhere these places till like they probably might go on a little, I always want to say that the worst part of me. Like a little circuit.
The chicken bar circuit.
Yeah, you do
the chicken bar circuit.
Yeah, you're doing these things. You're going around with like a group or some shit
Right.
like that, whatever. And Kevin Hart, we've heard Kevin Hart in those stand-up type of situations and stuff now, right?
Yeah.
To like partnership with iHeartRadio, to co-owning deals with Charlemagne and like Audible and everything like that, to
Right.
Heartbeat Productions, to all some type of stuff, to Nike deals and every. And that's big for a comedian.
That's huge for a
You
comedian.
went from doing stand-up thing. I remember he said he used to be like the MC into a strip club. How many MCs in a strip club can't be at that place where Kevin Hart made it to? Let him be great. So that's why I say I feel like he conquered that aspect.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like now he's into other things. I feel like even Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I'm a Jay-Z fan and stuff like that. And Jay-Z hasn't have a solid album or a solo album since 2017. But I'm looking like,
that's from a guy who put out stuff every summer.
right. Every summer he used to put out something and stuff like that, right? And he's still on other people's tracks. But I look at it stuff as like, I think he's at this part where he conquered hip-hop.
Right.
Or he's conquered his, like, the musician aspect and stuff. And now he's into other things. Sports management. The, like the 444, sorry, the 40 clubs.
Right.
All the other adventures and stuff like that. From like the Reeboks to the NFL.
Yeah.
How many rappers could say they done that? Let him be great.
Right.
So I feel like these aspects and stuff, whatever, they come like far and wide, but we just kind of shit on them. I don't think he's been on like a down spiral. I think it's just like just haven't seen. Now, Britney, hey yo, when like people are gonna read this book regardless. I'm not a fan of reading about celebrity books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Much less my social media them made me spoil and shit and told me that I'm intelligent because I don't give two fucks about a celebrity lifestyle. They said people who care about celebrity lifestyles are less intelligent and all the above. But people would read these books about Britney, people going at the Justin Timberlake and all that type of stuff for those things and stuff like that. I still feel like Britney has a real life down spiral. I've said it before. And y'all can come for me, Britney fans and stuff, whatever. What do they call Britney fans? The Brits? The Spirits? I don't know.
Spears?
The Spears? I don't know.
No, I have no clue.
It's a cry for help. I feel like she has a cry for help and everything like that.
What if it's just an elaborate con?
It ain't kind of me. Like, I'm not writing a Dear Brittany, what are you doing out here and shit like that. But yeah, she might be getting it because, like, for all I know, she'd be doing all of this shit. Is that her OnlyFans or just a live?
I think
Because she opens with
it's-
OnlyFans and stuff, but she's winning.
I think it's just her life.
She's winning. So, hey,
Hey,
I'm not playing. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Good questions, y'all. Appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
All right. We are here.
We are here,
So say the Suns. Let's get to it.
right?
So say the Suns this week says, those with their head in their clouds often don't see the storm that they are in. So say the Suns. Talk about it.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, we know that term, oh, you have your heads in the clouds. You're always dreaming. You know what I mean? You're always thinking of stuff other than what you should be concentrating on. And I
Meaning
think,
what?
like, for instance, daydreaming would be a part of it, but I think that it's your head when you have your head in the clouds, it's daydreaming too much and not basing yourself in some sort of reality.
So there's a line of reality and fantasy.
Right. And then so when you're past that line of reality and just stuck in the fantasy, a lot of times the storm is brewing in the reality, but you can't see it because you're just too busy in la la land. If you can now only just take your head out of the clouds, then maybe you could see the storm. It's just like that from the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't see the forest, within the trees. Is that what the saying is? Mm-hmm. But if you step outside the forest, you see the trees, right? I feel like a lot of people are in that situation right now where they have their heads wrapped up in this idea of what they what they should be, mm-hmm. right? And partly because of social media, right? And missing who they're truly supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Right? So again, the head in the clouds is who I want to be. The storm that's brewing is me not being who I'm supposed to be. And it's just like you're saying, almost back to the similar situation with that keys. Now you realize your head's in the clouds. Now you're trying to search for who you're supposed to be.
Mm. So say the Suns.
So says the Suns.
Okay. We are here.
We are here.
We came, we saw, we conquered, y'all. Appreciate that. Salute to all the con artists and the confident people. Keep conning on. Keep conning on.
Just don't suffer the consequences
in the process. All right.
All right.
Once again, man, thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. All streaming platforms possible. Click subscribe and follow. And join us on these polls and appreciate these good ass questions for the Ask the Sons.
We got some church announcements coming up. I think we'll wait till everything's solidified a little bit more before we make any announcements.
So why you mentioning shit?
Just let the people know. I mean, sometimes people just think, the Sons is just merely just about sitting around cracking jokes, bring the serious vibe to the platform. But we're out here. We're out here.
It's either or. I if you know, you know. If you're here, you know. You already know what it is and stuff. There. Yes, you're gonna get the humor. Yes, you're gonna get the nonsense. But yet you're gonna get, like I said, hilarity and inappropriate, intellectual beyond belief. Because you never thought you probably had a conversation about people playing with emotions or people with power in positions of power playing with emotions, and then you still get some of these jokes like regular con artists would. So.
I should just really just start looking at your politicians a little bit more with that discerning eye.
People around you. In general.
In general?
Because I look at stuff as where if you learn something brand new, as a concept, or I want to say more so a system.
Right.
Try and see if you can make it applicable to your world. See if it works for your world.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying you have to change your world and stuff immediately, but just see if it works in your world.
Yeah.
That's it. Like if, you don't get boom flicks. And if you don't get the boom flick and stuff at the house and stuff, whatever, and then like maybe you bring up a boom flick kind of convo.
Yes.
You might get like
a boom flick video.
Maybe like, you show a boom flick video and stuff like that. They be like, that part's not doable. What if we remix it to like the, and that might work.
Shout out to Little Lenny. Yeah, you got the song boom flick in my head.
Boom flick, man. Simple. Thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is genius has its limits. Yo.
Peace and love, y'all.
Boom flick.
Peace.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.